Hi everyone, I'm Alistair Ben and you're watching Expressive Photography. In this week's video, I want to give you a crash course on photographic composition. Well, given that it's 2024 and most people get their information from the internet, I thought I would start by seeing what the internet has to say about photographic composition. So if I ask a well-known AI chat software, what is photographic composition? It starts off by saying photographic composition refers to the arrangement and organization of visual elements within a photograph. So far, so good. That sounds pretty good. It then goes on to say, point one, the rule of thirds, dividing the image into 9 equal parts by 2 equally spaced horizontal lines and 2 equally spaced vertical lines. I don't know about you, but I'm getting bored already. Placing the main subject along these lines or their intersections creates balance and interest. Says who? Point two, leading lines, using lines within the image to guide the viewer's eye towards the main subject. Again, we're talking templating here. Framing, using elements within the scene to create a frame around the subject, such as windows, doorways, or arches, to draw the attention to the subject. We go on, balance, depth, contrast, simplicity, patterns and repetition, points of view, cropping. Effective photographic composition helps to tell a story, convey emotions, and capture the viewer's attention, making the photograph more compelling and engaging. This is what the internet thinks photographic composition is all about. And unfortunately, most teachers of photographic composition tend to agree. And what you'll find if you browse on the YouTube buffet are lots and lots of videos telling you how to compose. And this is not going to be one of those videos. The reason being is I disagree with pretty much everything that's written in that summary. If we go on to another well-known internet search encyclopedia or wiki, as we would call it, you get the same results. You get the rule of thirds, you get leading lines, you get all of these rules of composition. So if this is what the internet and most of the world thinks that composition is, and I disagree, then what is it? Stay tuned. This is where I either fall flat on my face or I'm a genius. Photographic composition is not something you learn. This is the first mistake that people make, is they try to learn composition. You cannot learn to compose. I spent probably the first 2 to 3 years of my photographic development, back in the early 2000s when I was picking up a camera again, trying to express myself and discover the world and to sort of find my own unique take of it by pointing my cameras at things I thought were interesting, engaged my attention, that I just found fascinating. I didn't analyze them. I didn't work out if they were conforming in any way to some sort of societal standard. I just made photographs that made me happy. Then I started listening to people who I thought knew more than I did and started to change things. And I read all of the books and all of the articles and studied to a fairly high level what photographic composition was all about. And for the next 10 years made incredibly, quite successful, I suppose, photographs, but to me, they just looked like everybody else's. I remember sitting in my studio with a client and he was saying, let's look at some of your compositions. And I realized they were all the same. Bottom left to top right, foreground, midground, background, nice light, processed to accentuate this connectivity between something and something else. And they were boring. I look back on them now and I have no interest in them whatsoever. And I got to the point where I was so sick of my own photographs that I nearly quit. I just thought, I've got no time for this. This is not creativity. This is not composing. This is not making something new. All this is doing is ticking boxes that other people have told me make successful photographs. So if it's not all of that stuff, then what is it? Well, I've already said it's not something you learn. It's something you discover. You can find your compositional style, your compositional preferences, the way you use your images to articulate your emotions far more successfully by never learning a single compositional rule. Now, I'm going to get plenty of hate on the internet for saying this, but at the end of the day, if a rule is if a rule only works when it meets, or if an image only works when it meets a certain compositional rule, then all of the ones that don't comply with any of those rules, of which I have an abundance and many other photographer friends of mine have an abundance as well, if you're making images that don't comply to these rules, then how by any definition can they be successful? If we are saying that you can only have a successful composition if it complies with a certain standard or a certain societal norm, then we are completely deluding ourselves, and we might as well throw away our cameras, because we will never be able to make an original composition. Online sources talk about harmony, talk about emotion, they talk about trying to express ourselves. You cannot express yourself with something that's this has to go there and that has to go there, otherwise it is wrong. So if it's not all of these things, what is it? I've said already, it's not something you learn, it's something you discover. So what are we discovering? Well, the first thing I think is point your camera at things that you like. Point your camera at things that you're fascinated with, that interest you. And then you have to go through this thought process of, can I make a concise image that represents this thing or this scene? And understanding the role of every pixel in the frame. Now, yes, we can talk about distractions. We can talk about building relationships between various parts of the frame. But instead of thinking about the term leading lines, think about the word transitions, something to something else, cool to warm, dark to light, textured to atmospheric. It can be very difficult to learn composition if you are going out into the landscape to look for a composition. It's all you're ever going to find is what you're looking for, or more often than not, you're not going to find what you're looking for because you're following someone else's recipe of what makes a successful composition. Composition is about understanding volume. Composition is about understanding feel. Composition is about understanding what is in and what is out. Composition is about the distribution of contrast. All of these different ways of looking at composition. I wrote a book 6 years ago now called Luminosity and Contrast, which was the first part of the Expressive Photography ebook series, which followed on with The Color of Meaning and then Creativity Superpowers. Those 3 ebooks are a distillation of 10 years worth of self-exploration from me in terms of trying to understand why I'm pointing my camera at something, why I want to include certain things in the frame and exclude other things in the frame. And what's happened now is that more often than not, when I'm out in the field, I don't think about composition at all. I notice something that I think, yes, that's a really cool thing. I want to point my camera at it, and I'm going to exclude things with an aspect ratio that's going to make that more concise, that's going to get rid of all the things that are distracting or getting in the way to create something that is concise. That's my personal way. You can go out and make photographs any way you want, but unless you feel passionate about the photographs you're making, you're never going to be satisfied with your own photography. You're always going to be looking at other photographers and thinking, why can't I do what they do? Why can't I see what they can see? When we forget that they're looking at your images and thinking, why can't I see like he or she sees? I talk all the time about the 5 triggers of engagement: luminosity, contrast, color, atmosphere, and geometry. They are the attributes of composition. They are the raw ingredients of composition. We use those in the same way that you go into your fridge and gather ingredients to make dinner every night. You can follow a recipe. That is not creativity. It might taste nice, but it's not your creation. Harmony is, think about the expression season to taste. If you want to put a bunch of pepper or salt or chili powder in your food, other people might not like it. Composition is seasoning to taste. You have to make it the way you want to make it. I hope over the next few weeks, months, years of Expressive Photography YouTube content, plus our ebooks, video courses, and the forum, that I provide lots and lots of opportunity for people to learn to be them, to learn to decide for themselves. Yes, there's lots of material out there in the world that tells you what to do. ultimately you might make yourself happy for a while, but it's not going to deliver what you want. If I was going to create a crash course for composition, the first thing I would say is understand the consequences of your decisions. Everything you decide to do has a consequence. The aspect ratio, vertical or horizontal, light or dark, black or white or color, the levels of saturation. All of these decisions have an influence on the image, and if it tells the story and gives the emotion that you want to give, but it doesn't tick any boxes that society tells you it should, then it is a successful photograph, regardless of what other people say. So that was my quick crash course in composition. Of course, there's so much more content on the Expressive Photography channel here, talking about some of these attributes and topics in greater detail, but food for thought. What you think composition is may not necessarily be what it is, and find for yourself how you want to express yourself, and then you might be a happy photographer. Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week when I'm going to be shooting the summer solstice. We're going to go out at late evening and shoot all the way through to the early 4:17 sunrise up here on the Isle of Lewis. So join me then for some outdoor sleepy adventures with me looking like the age of 95. Click the subscribe button. No doubt dive into the comments. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I'm Alistair Ben. Bye for now.